Hey guys, my name is Ryan,
And my name is Miska.
and welcome to Overwatch Central. So in this video, we're going to be going over how to find areas to improve in your own play by looking at statistics. This video is actually a sponsored video that we're working on together with Oversumo. It's an app that provides personalized Overwatch stats. More on that in a bit though. Miska's going to introduce the video and talk about why stats are important.
So to kick things off, I actually want to talk about something that Blizzard publicly said, or at least someone from the Overwatch team said, in an official Play Overwatch YouTube channel video when discussing stats, in this case in relation to esports, but it applies to this case as well. I believe the exact quote was, "With stats, you can objectively say that that player is the best in the world right now." And whilst we're not here to talk about which players play certain heroes to the best degree possible and are best in the world at their hero, this is still important when it comes to just improving and essentially getting better as a player in Overwatch in any skill tier. It might not be that important to compare yourself to one other individual player, someone you're playing against, or just maybe another person on your friends list, but stats are very helpful when comparing yourself amongst your skill tier and amongst other people in your skill tier and players that are doing better than you are. This overall skill comparison to a group of people is what we want to talk about in this video, and we want to help you figure out what stats to look at and how to compare those stats to other people to know where you're lacking and where you can improve.
Now that we've gone over why these stats are important, let's go over what you should be focusing on when it comes to improving your game. There are so many statistics to focus on within Overwatch, but it can be really easy to tunnel vision on some arbitrary stats, especially when it comes to things like medals. But really, some of the more arbitrary stats that people tend to focus on would be things like hook accuracy for Roadhog, actual weapon accuracy for a lot of heroes surprisingly, and another big one is Zarya's average weapon charge. Knowing which stats to focus on is incredibly important when it comes to knowing your role, but also to finding ways to get better at the heroes that you play. Let's go back to Zarya's average weapon charge. Instead of focusing on that, you could focus on the likes of Zarya's deaths, how many times you've died in a game, her overall eliminations, but more specifically the high charge eliminations as well. But the main point is that it can differ from player to player depending on playstyles, but no video can give you personal tips. We can give you general advice and tools that can help you then improve, but at the end of the day, you are the expert on you. All we can do is point you in the right direction.
So you have a good idea of what stats can be important for certain heroes, but it can be quite difficult to compare that across other Anas and Zaryas, for example, at your skill tier. It's not just as easy as looking it up in game, because in game you can only really see your own stats. Sure, you can look at other friends and see what their stats are at, but that's not necessarily gonna give you a comparison that's accurate and useful in your situation. So we were talking to Oversumo, a sponsor we have worked with in the past, and we all settled on that we basically wanted to create a video on the importance of stats, which is their primary focus as an app, showing you relevant stats to help you improve at Overwatch. The latest version of the app can give you more personalized stats by comparing you to other players within your skill tier and giving you insight to those areas you can improve in. The app is free to download, so you can give it a try. Let us know what your thoughts are on the app in the comments below, but this is definitely a good way to get a better idea of what areas you can improve in, and especially with the new performance index, you can get a good idea of how you are performing in comparison to other people in your skill tier. So it's a very straightforward way of having stats presented to you with context to get an idea of how you are doing in Overwatch on any hero you may be playing.
But just having the stats isn't always enough to know where you could be going wrong. You might be really stoked that you are the top of damage playing Reinhardt or are in the high percentiles when it comes to damage done as Reinhardt, but it could also very easily highlight the lack of damage blocked coming from your shield. This is where the balance in stats is important. Not only with spotting what areas may be lacking, but also trends across your gameplay. This is where you notice key flaws in how you play and what areas you can really focus on and improve. No hero in Overwatch should be focusing on one single stat, but rather a combination in relation to gameplay. Sometimes, however, it doesn't necessarily come down to a massive imbalance in your performance, but rather one specific thing that is holding you back. If you're able to review your performance and find that hidden issue, you can improve exponentially in a very short amount of time. It's not about having amazing stats now and again, it's about having great stats consistently. And being consistently good is the thing that we're all aiming for. And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do check out Oversumo in the description below. And let us know what you think of the video and any other stat tips that you can give. Let us know below, and until next time, take care. We'll see you then.